Well, well, well. Here we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is officially Christmas. By the way, did you look over your left shoulder on the back wall? That's your right shoulder, dummy. Your left shoulder on that back wall. Do you see? Just tell everybody what you see right behind you.
Well, I mean, just so everybody knows, I listen to your show. Yeah, I know. I was ready for this. I saw it in there, too.
So you thought Halloween was bad.
I love the warden. I do. She's an attractive woman. She's held up well.
Yeah.
She was a lot younger or older than I'm sorry, but she is a lot older than I thought she was given the body type because she's held up well.
Right.
So in there is a compliment.
Shut up! Alexa, stop!
You whore!
Wonder why they came up with Alexa. Why not Brenda or Sandy?
Karen?
Or
You going to ask Karen all the time? Karen wants to talk to the warden.
Hey, Karen
doesn't like what you
What was
do
that
when
show?
you're watching TV.
What was the show with Karen? What was the show with Karen?
I don't know. Karen who?
There was a show that had a voice from Karen, and it was like scary.
Oh, is that SpongeBob?
Oh, it was SpongeBob.
Yeah.
SpongeBob. The little green amoeba's wife was Karen.
was his robotic wife.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can out it, I guess. If you please just don't come troll me. Got things to do. I'm working at Starbucks in the morning because Home Depot was not for me. But you predicted that the first time we talked about it.
Well, no, listen.
That wasn't going to go well.
You know what? When you first said that you were going to go take a job at Home Depot, the home improvement show that I used to love, right, with Tim Allen, I'm thinking, dude, Andy's got the coolest job in the world. He's going to go around, you get 2x4 or 2x6. You get some pine or maybe you get some sweet cedar over there. I'm thinking, dude, he's got the coolest job. I got about 50 projects here that I want to start that I don't know how to. I'm thinking, I got a 2x6 in the basement. I'm going to cut it up. I'm going to screw it into my rafters, put a dowel rod in between that I can put the winter clothes down there, in the summer, and the summer clothes in the winter. I mean, I've got all these thoughts. I think you've got the coolest job in the world. And basically, let's be honest, the boss there was a tool.
Yeah, I hated the guy I had to work for. He didn't treat people very well, and I couldn't deal with that.
And you weren't the only one that left.
No, we all left at once. But there were a lot of kids there that I thought were really good kids.
Kind of like Pat Connor, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, I liked Pat. Pat was good to me.
No,
he was the most recent vintage.
He was a nice man.
He was a nice man. Look, man, you saw a different time at that place than I did. Trust me, Pat Connor had a lot more going on than the last dude I had to work for.
Right.
And I don't even blame him. There's one guy who decided he was an afternoon radio host.
Yeah, make sure he gets him on.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. You know what? Bygones, bygones.
But Boz Scaggs sang a great song about JoJo. I mean, it was really good.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
But look. Where I lost it was I had a mentor guy there that named Lee who's going to come join us one day. And when you upset Lee, then I was like, if Lee doesn't want to work for you, then I don't want to work for you. Because I remember my last few nights, I told you, I was driving a lift truck, and I was trying to put a pallet of concrete on, because people have asked me what's the story. So it started with me trying to put a pallet of concrete on the third shelf as I just finally got comfortable with the reach truck.
Right.
Because they're hard.
Which we used to call forklift.
Well, I drove a forklift too, but the reach truck was the stand-up version that we used in the tighter aisles because it turned.
Oh, yeah, you stand up on it. Yeah. So that's called a reach lift.
A reach.
Okay.
So, and it was stupid because I thought I'd cleared. So this is Andy's 2020 in a nutshell. All right, it's my Seinfeld life. So they had spent 5 days, just 5 days earlier. They had spent a lot of money and all night having this work crew come in and fix our door. There was a fire door that closes so the tool rental wouldn't get the expensive stuff burned down. And I knew this because these dudes were in my way in the lumber department as I was trying to get the concrete put away. So it's 5 days later, and I pick up this pallet of concrete. Now, again, you can't go in, just so you don't think I'm a total dumbass. If you get glued too close to the rack, it rips the bags, and then the stupid concrete and the sand falls out. So I had to stay far enough from the rack that I wasn't ripping the bags. So I go up with the forks, and I'm aware of this box.
Hey, we're watching The Office right now. Let me just, before you continue your story, that's what she said. Go ahead.
This box is above me that I know is a key to a lot of this fire door. So I'm raising
like
it
an electrical box type thing.
Yes.
Mechanical box.
Yes. I'm raising it up, and the first arm on the forks clears. I think I'm good, so I put it up a little faster because I want to drive in and get all my. The second, I didn't account for a second arm coming out of this thing. It hits the box. I freak out real quick, like I totally spazzed, and I'm trying to like pull forward because I'm like, oh, shit, you know. Then I'm cussing and you know, there's a manager over there watching me and everything. And I backed up when I meant to go forward, and I knocked a fire pin into the box. Okay, now this pin was only supposed to move if it burned off. So it's supposed to melt, door closes, that's it. This pin falls into the box, the door closes, and they can't just unlock the box because that's part of they had to call the crew back out. And I got my license pulled. They had to drug test me. So that's step one where I'm like,
so you got drug tested because you had an accident.
But it was funny. My manager was like, he felt there were a number, like Home Depot's nothing but managers, okay? And I had 9 really good ones and just one guy I wasn't getting along with. And so one of them comes over.
Can we call him Tool Boy?
What's that?
Can we call him Tool Boy?
Sure, Tool Boy.
Yeah.
But one guy comes over, and this dude, his name was Matt, and he's a really good dude. And he's almost like, he goes, I got to pull your license. You know, because he didn't want to do it. And he goes, and I got a drug test you. And I go, well, I'm right here. You know I'm not. You watched the whole damn thing. He goes, I know, I don't have a choice. I was like, that's fine. So that was step one where I'm like, I don't belong here.
So did you go back in the back room right then and pee in a cup?
No, they put a cotton swab in your mouth, and they're not allowed to touch anything, so there's no accusations of tampering. Okay,
right.
So you're sucking on this stupid stick. That's what she said. For at least what feels like 5 minutes. Again,
that's what she said.
And then they put it in like a plastic thing, it's like a pregnancy test that they then send off to a lab. So the next night, I've applied to every Starbucks. They've called me. I'm like, all right, if I get this job, I'm out of here. Because Lee's already gone. My dude Lee's already gone, and that pissed me off because Lee was a really good guy. Lee was really, he taught me, he reminded me of you, and he would always tell me, don't drive the truck fast because that's when the accidents happen. And he used to get on this manager saying, you're pushing these dudes to go fast, and there's going to be an accident. If you want experienced Lyft drivers, pay $30 an hour and go find them. Otherwise, this is what you're living with, and leave them alone. So that was Lee.
So I kind of like this guy already.
Lee's my dude. Lee's out of Detroit. Lee's told me some stories. So then the next day, this is where your part of the story comes in. This cat comes in building a deck, and he's like, I got the 3/4 screws going. I'll tell you what, I don't know if they work. I need one of these 1.5. He sounded like an auctioneer to me.
Right.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I got no idea what you're saying. I was like, you might as well be talking Mandarin to me. I don't know what you're saying. I don't belong here. You know, and I told him, I was like, sir, I have no idea what you're talking about. Because, you know, you can't even fake it at that point. He wants some different screw. He needs some joist thing for a deck deal. And I'd stocked them. But nobody taught me what they were supposed to be.
Or what they're called.
Right. Because once I've learned how to drive the truck, they just want you stacking stuff with the truck. There's no more teaching. So I just was like, I'm going to go. Because I was dead. I was sweating bullets like a real contractor that had like a deadline to meet, was going to come in one day and need something. And I'd be like, I don't know.
So now let me ask you this. While you were working there, did you get to wear like a tool belt or anything that was kind of cool?
No, I got to use the saw a few times.
Which is the stand-up one too that goes.
Oh yeah, I had to cut one. I told. See, this is another problem with
measure twice, cut once.
Part of the problem with the radio guys. We think we're funny. We're kind of on all the time. Like if you had this problem, these ladies came in and wanted their stuff, and I was like, you're gonna pop my saw cherry," and I was like, I shouldn't have said that. We're at Home Depot. Now they giggled.
Yeah, thank God.
Luckily they giggled.
Thank God, Michael Scott.
Yeah, but it was awkward. I was waiting. Hey, we're gonna need you to watch a video about how not to talk to our customers. But you know, you're always on. You're always wanting to joke. I don't know. Here's what I thought was.
Did you carry
I had a measuring
a tape measure?
I had a pen. I had a marker. What else did I have that was cool? I had a knife.
Oh yeah,
I was cutting stuff all the time.
I always have a knife though.
So it was all good. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm much happier. Starbucks is kind of like bartending, but you know, there's a lot of.
Without somebody waiting for you to come off shift at 2 a.m.
Right. Yeah. There's no going home and having a party. Dude, one night, my favorite story of that. So I moved in. I think you've met Jeremy. I moved in with these two guys from Wisconsin when I was in college, and I was bartending. And they loved me because they worked, funny enough, they were working construction. And they had to get up early. But I'd be coming home at 2 a.m., and I'd usually brought friends. There'd be a party. Sometimes it'd be the manager. Sometimes it'd be other waitresses. Sometimes it'd be a customer. I don't know. Depending on how the night went.
That's what she said.
So, yeah. So one night, I was working a tip. And this is a note for all the fellas, okay? Because the fellas get jobbed by this more than the ladies usually do. We're overly friendly because we need the money. Okay?
Yeah, that's why we're working. We're working because we need money.
I'm going to let you know right now, half the waitresses I knew that were married put the old ring in the apron so that you thought they were single. Huh. Because that's how they helped make some money. So,
Ward. Oh, look here, just laughing. Yeah. Really?
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Okay.
Oh, we had this one gal named Janice. I was like, is the ring off? Because Daddy needs to pay the rent. Is the ring off? The ring better be off. If he comes in, he'll sit there and I'll set him up. But the ring is off tonight, baby. We gotta make some dough. Okay. And I used to tell her, you just give me the drink cards and you just be you. You just be you out here amongst the bar. I got it all handled. All right? Just keep them coming to me. Yell them to me. Keep the girls in the right position and keep the ring in the pocket, and we'll be good. But, yeah, so one girl, I was like, oh, we may go back and drink later. Well, call me. Let me know. So I'm literally in my basement. This is a 3-level house. The party's on the main level. It's like 2 in the morning. And this is back in the day, the cord phone. Remember the cord phone?
Yeah, and you get the big long cord. Yeah. You thought you were special when you had the 20-foot cord.
You had to get that to go talk to the
stretchy
girl.
Cord, right.
Whenever you were dating a girl, you bought the longest cord you could so Mom and Dad couldn't hear you. Our phone was in the dining room, and I went all the way through the kitchen out to the landing, trying not to get heard. So I'm in the basement, and I'm like, oh, we're all pretty tired. We're trying to go to bed. And I'm like trying to keep it quiet because there's like a party. There's a party all around me. And I'm like, yeah, sorry, no one's going to make it. No, we're not going to get it done tonight. Sorry. Yeah. What's that thumping? Nothing. Nothing.
B-52s. Don't worry about it.
My roommate's dating a fat chick. What? So, yeah. So
anyway, now you've gone from Home Depot, the coolest guy job, in my opinion. I'm thinking I would love to do that. In fact, I was thinking maybe I applied too, and I could get that, with Andy, and me and Andy could go hang out at the.
If we got to build stuff, it'd be cool.
And you got to get a discount. Didn't you get a discount?
No discount.
Oh, well, I ain't gonna work there. Yeah, I ain't gonna work there then. So now you decide, okay, enough of that. Let me go from the manliest job in the world
to making coffee
to Starbucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's like bartending, only you don't have time to talk to anybody.
I guarantee you're the only guy in that place that wears flannel. Not tucked in.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Probably.
So is that good? Are you learning how to make all the coffees? And do you have a favorite now? Because now I believe now the white peppermint mochas are out or something.
Oh, yeah. No, you don't understand what I dealt with Friday. Nobody warned me about Friday. Friday, November 6th, all right? See, again, when I was bartending, I was at a Bennigan's. St. Patrick's Day, everybody decided Bennigan's was truly Irish, and that's where we're going to go party. There would be days. Now, you'd make about 500, 600 cash.
That's where the warden's mom worked for a while.
Well, then she can tell you.
I guarantee you she took the ring in the pocket. Oops.
Well, hey, as long as I'm spending your money, what do we care, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So Friday comes, and what's so big about Friday?
They rolled out their holiday cups. And if you ordered a holiday drink, you got a plastic holiday cup to go with it.
I got one last year. I just finally threw it away because I never went and refilled it.
It was insane.
Because they're smaller than the regular big.
It was, Scotty, it was pure insanity. I'd never seen anything like it.
Right.
It's just a blur of, and like you said, it's like some caramel brulee or something, and peppermint mocha and white peppermint mocha and toasted peppermint mocha.
The white toasted peppermint mocha is pretty outstanding, though.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm making my own version of the drinks. I got my own Buddy the Elf sweet to the tilt peppermint frappuccino.
Candy canes, candy corn,
and
it's syrup.
But everybody's got these add-ons to the point where I'm just like, what? Like, I tried to do DTO. First gal that pulls up to DTO is drive-through order, where I'm supposed to be on the computer. And the first gal comes up. I'll have a venti chai latte with steamed milk, half calf. I want a little bit of water. Then I need 12 pumps of mocha. I need 5 chais. And I was just like, what? So I'm trying to punch this in. And I said, ma'am, can you repeat that? I'm new.
52.50.
And again, she does it again. And I think I couldn't even find chai latte on there to start the damn thing, much less add on all. And then the guy that trained me jumps on the headset. She said, and he repeated, and finally I looked at the guy that was assigning people there, and I go, this isn't going to work. I just gave him the headset. I go, I'll go to the order and say, I'll go to the window and say hi to people. I'm not punching it in. I can't do this. So, but it's been fun otherwise.
Yeah. So I mean, if they ask for 8 pumps, you give them 5. Would they know the difference, really?
I often wonder. I'm positive already, and if you're one of the people by accident, I'm positive I've made 2 or 3 drinks wrong.
but it's not on purpose.
No, you don't.
So, but do you have an appreciation for drive-thru? All those late nights at Taco Bell when you ordered 3 of this and you got 2? Or
well, but you have to understand, my friend, and I'm sure people will tell you. Once you've worked in the food industry like I had, because I've waited tables, you will never be mean to anybody who touches your food again for a number of reasons. A, you know the power they have. B, you know how crappy people can be. Now, I will say this. What I've been really surprised by, people are chill. I've had only 2 people kind of get pissy. Like, people talk to you. They haven't had their coffee yet, so I thought I'd be dealing with quite a grumpy group. But they're cool.
You're also starting to do this in COVID. And don't you think you've run into people that you might be the only human contact outside of their immediate family they've spoke to in months?
So here's the Starbucks hack. If you don't want to be talked to at the drive-thru, get on your phone. That is the only thing that allows us to leave you alone. They want us to engage you at the window in case of what you're talking about or whatever.
Just because people are probably lonely.
Well, yeah.
So do you still have the pumpkin spice, or is it gone now too?
You better get on it. You got about 3 weeks. I mean, I put it to you this way: most stores are probably using up what they have, and they're not ordering anymore.
I don't understand why that's not a year-round drink.
Because, man, didn't your mom ever tell you Christmas wouldn't be special if it was every weekend? Did you ever get that life advice?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not a fad. It's not hysteria if we don't create it.
Yeah, but you know, it's funny. I went, and I haven't gone to Starbucks. I've gone to Starbucks. I've had 2, which is low for me. I've had 2 pumpkin spice lattes all year.
That's disappointing to hear.
Well, I know. Because I'm making my own. Because you know what? Our show starts at 10. I set my alarm at 9:50 and 9:58. And at 9:50, it gives me enough time to get up, start the coffee, ding, turn the box on, come on back, fill my coffee cup up, and I'm good.
So you kind of touched on, because we're not here to tell you all about my life, that's for sure. But although I did have a listener pull up one day and said he listens to you and, listens to me and us and the whole deal. And that was pretty cool. But good night, Ellie.
Good night,
Ellie's going to bed.
Do you want to say good night to America? Come here. Get on the microphone. Say good night, America.
Good night.
So sweet and innocent. Yeah, Ellie, we're about to crush innocence, so head on out of here.
Your life will be crushed. The weight of the world will be on you in another 5 years anyway, kid.
So you and I were talking before we got on air, and I thought this was kind of interesting because, again, you brought it up. People have told me, I come out and get my coffee, and then I got to go back home and work, right? And this is sometimes the only way I get out, and this, that, the other. I had one kid pull up, and I was like, "Hey, cool van." I thought he was maybe delivering packages because I'm trying to pick something out about you to talk about. So I was like, "You got a lot of deliveries to do today?" He goes, "No, I live in this thing," and then I'm like, "All right, well,
cool van."
Do you have it? Well, I was like,
do you live down by a river?
Ever parked by a river? I don't know, Dad. Help me out. Is that Bill Shakespeare over there? No, you haven't seen that bit? Sorry. But I asked him, do you have one? Because I thought maybe you had the fold down. Because people are doing it. They've got some pretty cool vans where you can fold out the beds.
Hey, listen, that is the one nostalgic car. I mean, I'd love to have, an old Shelby Mustang, or I'd like to have the 71 GTO or something like that. but one of the old Chevy vans from the days with the big custom pull-out bed in the
Yeah.
back. And
Maybe some
captain's chairs in the middle, right?
You need a little van art, do you?
Oh,
Like
a carpet all over the inside.
Yeah.
My boy.
Lighting everywhere.
I used to go in college and party with a guy that had one of those, had the big mag wheels on the back and everything. And he was a graduate assistant coach, and we would go out and party in that van. We'd leave the bar, which we were too young because it was 21 in Arkansas, but we'd go out in the van, smoke a doob, and then go back inside.
All right.
And we're with the coach, right? We're with one of the assistant coaches.
Everyone's got one of those coaches, right?
Who, by the way, became a doctor.
Yeah, well, I mean, good for him.
Yeah, became a PhD in something.
Now he can prescribe it to you.
Yeah, Scott, I got these blue things that might interest you a little more than that doobie. This blue thing may help you a little more than that doobie you used to do.
So let me ask you this, though. Like, where are you at? Where are you at with life right now? Because again,
you know what? I'm in the hardest part of this whole time. And you mentioned before we started how we would have had media day for the Avs and Nuggets already. We would probably had a preseason game or two.
You'd be in
football
season,
be still
baby.
going. Yeah, because usually we started
November
last year.
10th.
We started last year on Halloween Day. I believe was our first game, or the day after, either November 1st or no, it was the 30th. We started October 30th on the road and November 1st at home. Dog, get down. Thank you. So, yeah, a year ago we'd be playing. We'd probably be 3 or 4 games in already. Maybe that's interesting you brought that up because the last 2 days, man, I feel I suck. I mean, I had this kidney stone.
Still?
Well, no, I got to take it out. Now, you go to a urologist who puts you under, right? Put you under, and then they go inside there and laser it up. You know, it's like Star Wars. That
old video game.
I feel like the Millennial Falcon went to the Kasserine Pass in 8.8 parsecs or whatever. It was, right?
The Kessel Run.
Yeah, the Kessel Run. But my urologist say that these urologists are probably not young if you're sticking things up there with lasers on it and stuff like that. It wasn't no shark; it was a small tube. He goes, that was like one of the largest stones I've ever seen. I had 2 of them. So anyway, but they got a stent in there. There's a stent in my kidney that goes from my kidney down to my bladder. So every time I pee, it like hurts. So I go the other day thinking I'm getting it taken out. No, it's just another one of those, let's milk the insurance a little bit more money. We're just going to have another appointment and say, hey, you got to stand in. I know that. I remember that from the surgery. I didn't have another meeting for you to tell me that. I mean, hey, don't worry, son. Your insurance is covering all this anyway. Okay, but I want this out.
No, I hurt.
Every time I pee, it feels like somebody kicks me in the back of the thing. Well, he goes, well, fluid comes out of that into the bladder and then out, but it will actually back in too. It will go back up the tube, and that's the pressure you feel when it goes back into your kidney, and that's the pressure you feel. And I'm like, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
I said, what? So he goes, how about this? So now he goes, well, another 5 or 6 days we'll schedule and we'll come and take it. Now, when they put it up there and took it out, they put me asleep. When they pulled this stent out, now it runs from my bladder to my kidney.
Yeah.
So this tube inside my body right now has got to be at least 12 inches long. Not bragging, but at least 10 or 12 inches long inside my body, right?
Yeah.
She goes, well, we'll just put you under we'll just anesthetize.
No. A local?
A local.
No.
Hold on. And he said the words, the tip of your penis. I go, what? He goes, yeah, we won't put you under. This will only take about 20 minutes. I go, really? He goes, yeah, it'll be an uncomfortable thing. It'll be something that you'll never want to experience ever again in your life. And I'm like, so why don't you put me out again? I mean, I don't mind.
Not get the option?
Yeah, I don't mind being asleep and waking up and being high for another hour or so. I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. Let's do that again. I don't.
More insurance money.
Even more for you guys, right? Another $90,000 you can charge the insurance company. That's not why. Hey, that's not why the insurance thing is broken or the medical system is broken, is it? So I thought I was getting it taken out the other day. Instead, he goes, we'll call you back and schedule another 5 or 6 days. But it'll be uncomfortable. It'll be something you'll never want to experience again the rest of your life.
Hey, man, don't tell me that, right?
Thank you.
Don't tell me that.
It's a young dude. He's got a mask on, but he's got the perfect hair. He looks like he's under the mask like 25 and pulling everything from the bar. Because he's got the perfect hair. He's a PA, right? So he's probably in his late 30s, mid 30s. But he looks young. He's hip. He's cool. Thin, athletic looking, and I'm like
skinny jeans. He's a skinny jeans guy.
He would be a skinny jeans guy, and you go, okay, I see.
That's who they made.
Okay,
him for.
that's why right there.
You're the one guy that fits those.
So, hey, you actually look good cuffing your pants and wearing boots with it. You actually look pretty good.
Look, Abercrombie, I'm going under.
So I still have a stint. The funny thing is, I drink plenty of water. So I'm drinking like literally 80 to 90 ounces of water a day. Which I don't know about you, makes me pee about every 12 minutes.
It's like a pregnant woman. That's what I did on Slim Jim.
So every 12 minutes I get kicked in the kidney.
Good God.
That's where I'm going right now. So anyway, but to answer your question in a long-winded way, it's been rough lately, and it's funny you mentioned that because I would be traveling or doing stuff. And I'll say this, and I said this on the radio show today. The NFL, has had its issues and had some delays and had games postponed and pushed back and on that and on that. And I remember Ryan Harris, who I do a show with, said before, so I don't see how they're going to get this done. I don't see how. The NFL, I think, to have the season now, they're going to get this done. I mean, is there any question in your mind the NFL is going to get this done? They're going to get this done.
They've scheduled a Super Bowl.
I don't know how the NBA, and I know they had this negotiation. They're going to start December 22nd. They're going to play 72 games instead of 82 games. And, we want to be able to get 72 in. Well, guess what? Start in January and get 72 in. So what did you go a little longer? Who cares? You already did it. It worked out fine for you. But how does the NBA, honest to God, in the NHL, and they're not going to bubble, how are they going to do it? If all the trouble we've seen with the NHL, how's the NBA? Because now you're playing in Denver on a Tuesday, Dallas on Wednesday. You fly Thursday to Houston. You play Houston on Friday, and then L.A. on Sunday. How are you going to securely and safely do all that kind of travel in all those different hotels and all those different facilities? And you're seeing, and you're going to tell me guys are going to go into Houston and not go out, which has less standards than maybe Denver does. Denver, you might be locked in your hotel. But Houston, Texas, go down to Miami. Hey, people, you going to tell people ain't going to Miami?
Apparently go to Notre Dame, do whatever the hell you want, rush the field, have 1,000 people.
Well, that's okay because there was a celebration.
Well, yeah, really.
We elected a president. Don't mind the 200,000 people standing shoulder to shoulder. It's okay.
Look, man.
Happy takes away the COVID.
All I know is, look, and I went to Holy Family with Vic, okay? I'm in the Notre Dame system. When I saw how many people, I was like, that's a lot of people in the stadium, and now they're all on the field. That's going to be an issue.
Yeah. And then the president comes out, well, we got probably. And how about this? The president of Notre Dame said no kid can go home until they test. And if they do, they're not allowed back in. They're going to hold their whatever up until they prove that they're
COVID-free?
Yeah. So, I mean, it was like police state rules. And you're like,
probably shouldn't have let that many in the first place. Then,
thank you very much.
You know what I'm saying?
So like, you finally, and help me here, it was the most significant win the Notre Dame football program has had in
2 decades,
20 years. Yeah,
since they were winning Orange Bowls and Lou Holtz
was running around there,
right?
I mean, seriously. So, I mean, Ryan would argue with you, but I mean, you beat the number 1 team in the country. Right?
In conference.
And so one of the most – and you're surprised the kids rushed the field, but you allowed that many people in?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Come on
now. Now stand up in your high throne that Jesus is supposed to sit on. You're going to sit on as the president of Notre Dame and start getting on these kids? Come on, man.
I know. You wanted the money.
That's the only thing bad about this time right now, the hypocrisy that's going on.
No, I get it. I'm with you. And it's tough. See, but someone told us to talk. My buddy Chip Marks. Okay, I'll just tell you.
Hey Chip, how you doing?
Buddy Chip Marks is the spotter for CU, we were talking the other day, and he's like, you know what? You ought to tell people you have a second job. Because I'll be honest with you. Do I love I have a second? No, not really. Did I feel like the coolest guy in the world when a listener is getting handed coffee by me and tells me he listens? Didn't feel like the coolest guy in the world at that point. But Chip's like, you know what?
Can I say something, Andy? I mean, this is serious because you and I have been friends a long time. You are one of the hardest working people I know, and you know that. And I think people who know you and like you on air actually appreciate you because you became even more real. And you're the realest guy I know.
Well, and I appreciate
you're a
that.
but you're the realest guy I know.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. This time sucks for a lot of people. So why can't we, don't we have to find a balance between admitting that it sucks and not wallowing in it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Because, again, I got a lot of friends that I'm worried about. Don't wallow in it. Don't sit at home. Don't get locked up. Don't, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe I come work at Starbucks.
Well, you ain't going to fit out that window.
I don't know if I can stand up for 6 straight hours. You know when I used to coach high school? Seriously, I started doing this because I learned. I started doing a lot of walking and a lot of standing. I would do the radio and stand up all the time because when you coach, especially when you're practicing a lot, you're standing up for 2 hours every day.
So today it kind of got to me. It's funny you'd bring that up, but I don't know. Other days it hasn't too much. But can't you go Phil Jackson chair? Can't you go big old Phil Jackson? Remember Phil Jackson had the big old raised chair? We'll get your Phil Jackson chair right there at the window.
But that's that's in the games, yeah. The game's fine.
No, we get your Phil Jackson chair right there.
Just sit in the corner?
No, you're at the window. Hi, I'm Scott. You got these long-ass arms, man. You reach right to the car.
Right.
By the way, that's the other thing you see. People do not, people are either about to scrape their car against the wall, or one gal, I was like, young lady, do you need to maybe take an eye test? Your ass 5 yards away. You're not even you're so far from me. If I were a football coach, I wouldn't be thinking about going for it on 4th down right now.
That's when you do that Domino's pizza commercial. You say Frisbee,
just free. Yeah. Well, luckily I haven't.
Hey, do you want your chocolate croissant? Frisbee,
catch. So anyway, but you know what? I mean, I didn't want to. We spent a lot of time on it, but you were telling me before that I just think everybody's in a weird place right now and not sure how to feel about things. Now, for some, it's been, some are happy about the election, some are upset about the election. I hope everybody just chills out about the election because I've about had enough. I hope everybody. We get back to conversations and stuff again, but we'll see.
Yep.
You know what I experienced the other night that it was funny. You were bringing up the college. We talked about Notre Dame. I went and did the CU game the other night.
Oh, I know. How about a good win? Can I say something?
Yes.
And UCLA may suck, and I don't know.
I don't think they do. They got athletes now.
Well, I mean, when your both teams score in the 40s, I mean, it had to be a fun game.
It was a big play affair. CU blew some coverages as bad as I've ever seen. There were a couple tight ends that looked like they were late for school because there was nobody around. They were the only kid in the schoolyard. Anyway.
But for Carl Durrell, and you and I have known Carl since I've known him since he was assistant coach with the Broncos, right?
Yeah.
That's when we first got to know him a little bit. And always have kind of cheered for him. He's a classy dude. He's just a gentleman. I hope it works out. I like CSU's new coach too. And I know this is a funny year for both these schools, but Adazio at CSU and Durrell at CU, I hope they're the right guys. I think Air Force has the right guy, right? We love him, Troy Calhoun. This may be the best collection of 3 coaches we've had at one time. Since Sonny Lubick,
Fisher DeBerry
and either Barnett or either McCartney at the end of the year. You know what? It even got time. What's his name?
Neuheisel.
Neuheisel's a hell of a coach now.
Oh yeah. Well, no. Hey, look, I'm all for getting back to where CU-CSU is a game that they want on a big national network, and it doesn't have to be the Friday of Labor Day weekend, right?
But think about that. When you had, Lubick up at CSU, you had Fisher down at Air Force, and seriously, I mean, you had a nice run of 3 coaches. I mean, you had McCartney and then Neuheisel and then Barnett. Man, I mean, that was – I don't think you've had the opportunity. We still got to see because CSU's played 2 games, CU's played 1. I don't think you've had the opportunity to have as good of 3 coaches, and we'll see how they turn out. But I think it feels like the state, college football-wise, might be able to turn a corner.
So have you been to I was looking forward to this because I wanted to know what empty stadium football felt like, okay? So
Do they
aside
pump
from
in
that,
crowd noise?
They piped in, and I crap you not. It was the Madden soundtrack, and it was weird because I couldn't be on the field. I couldn't be on the field. I was actually in the stands, okay?
Which is good at CU at Boulder because the stands are still like 10 yards from the –
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I had to be halfway up because they tarped it off for advertising and did like that kind of stuff. But it was fine. I had a good vantage point to actually see things I would have noticed on the field. So it was good from as far as a sideline reporter trying to chip in some of what we were seeing. It was bad because when guys got hurt, I'm trying to text everybody I know. Shout out to Dave Willie and Brian Madden from Channel 4 because they kept me up to date from what they were seeing too. But Scotty, was so weird because it literally was that crowd noise you'd hear on a game of Madden. And it was only on the – so if I sat in the west stands, so it was – they were piping the noise in from the video board on the fancy end of the stadium with the big, the Buff Club and all that. Yeah. And on the left side was nothing. So you only had crowd noise, and it was just that Madden crowd noise on one side. And then
so Boulder's not letting anybody in.
There were 900 people there. 900.
Was
and they were in
families?
little clusters around, and half of it was UCLA folks.
How do UCLA folks come and no?
Because they had to offer them 400 tickets, and so they offered the other 400 to the CU
and so all
folks.
400, probably those guys came.
Yeah, all the tickets that were available.
Student body.
No student body at all.
So no one rushed the field for the CU victory. Is that their first one against UCLA?
No, they've beat UCLA a few times at home, but this was they haven't beat USC. But I will tell you this was the best Chip Kelly team I think they took down. The quarterback, Robinson, for UCLA's got he's got a little something to him. I'm telling you, that running back, Broussard, that CU's got, he's a throwback to Chris Brown. I mean, he don't get tackled by the first guy. Ooh. That kid had some wiggle. He had some power.
Go ask Texas and Nebraska about Chris Brown.
Yeah. So, but it was so weird because, like, a couple guys get hurt as they do, and they'd have to kill the noise, and you would realize, again, how empty it was there. How weird this is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was cool to be there. And I guess, to be honest with you.
The funny thing is, I was watching a game. I don't know if you know this. And all of a sudden I hear this voice. It was during an injury timeout. Mom, I'm working. And I'm thinking, okay, why did Andy's mom call him?
Well, because, Mom's got to check in. Mom's worried about you. Now, it was because you did your thing from the studio, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they fixed up a studio at the Pep Center.
So but you haven't been in arena to experience because, dude, I'm telling you, there's no now.
Like I'm trying to do home games, as I understand, but not on the floor. I was told. So I don't know how they're going to set it up for the home games, but the road games will be in a studio somewhere. Well,
I mean, like when they were playing, I got to be honest with you, I guess I was in the moment. Now, maybe it's because I had Johnson in my headset and I'm hearing the play-by-play and I wasn't having to sit in the silence of it all. But I'm telling you, man, when they killed the crowd noise, it was quiet as church. And to be at a football – now, it was cool in some ways because, I heard like – and I'm going to cuss, so turn this down here because I'm going to just tell you what the kids are saying. UCLA came out and they got down 14-0 and this big old offensive lineman – comes walking in. This ain't shit. It's the first quarter. Fuck this. It's the first quarter. We got plenty of time left. Plenty of time. This is bullshit. They suck. And you could hear it all as he's firing up his teammates before the offense went back out there. And then Chip Kelly, man, there was one point, and Chip Kelly had a point. It's the fourth quarter, and UCLA subbed, right? Which means they've got to let CU sub. Well, this ref, they were really gracious letting CU sub. Like, they got guys on, then they sent a couple. Like, CU, by the time they got done, I think they'd subbed out just about a whole defensive unit. And Chip Kelly lost his mind. He was telling them all, everybody sucked. I want your job. And like I could hear him telling the rep, I want him. You guys are morons, but I want to talk to the king moron over there. You all just fuck me. You fuck me. And I mean, you're hearing every word from the field because they got their big crew on. And you know what? Chip Kelly was right. They ran a 4th down play, and CU stuffed them because they got the big boys in. And frankly, I don't think they should have been given that much time to sub out as many dudes as they did. So to hear Chip Kelly, and there was just no, like, he went on the whole commercial break because they took a timeout. You know, because he wanted – I don't even remember what led to the – I mean, he was hot as a pistol. So stuff like that was kind of cool. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how long it's going to be this way.
Well, but now go back to what you're seeing, and football plays once a week.
Yeah.
How's basketball going to play 4 games in a week?
Let me ask you the question.
How's hockey going to skate 3-4 times a week?
Well, so I was talking. So it's funny. My manager at Starbucks is actually an Avs season ticket holder, and so I've been asking her because she's been getting more information than, frankly, we the media have. I think. And I said, "So what have they been telling you?" Her name's Lexi. Hello, Lexi. Fan of the station.
Did she listen to the podcast?
We're gonna find out, aren't we? Anyway, she's been told that they could go hub cities, that's under consideration from the NHL, from the plan that they're giving the season ticket holders. But if they go hub cities or they try to go bubble again, from what we heard from the players, we had Cale Makar on. I told you that in an earlier episode. He goes, yeah, that was fun. I ain't doing it again.
Yeah.
I mean, would the players agree to that?
Well, I think that's a big thing with the NBA is they realize how much of a mental wear was on too many of the players. Weak sauce, Bill George. But yeah, I don't think they'll do that again. But I just find it interesting. I mean, you're going to be playing. If you have 4 games, very rarely do you have 4 games straight at home.
Right.
But even if you do, that means there's 4 opponents coming in from out of town. Now, are you going to? And here's the funny thing. We heard this day in the NFL, and I'm going to mess the numbers up, but it's something like this. 56 players have been diagnosed with COVID, right?
Sounds about right.
Have got it tested COVID. 41 staff. There's 3,000 players. There's about 200 staff. 400.
What's the stat?
Hey, hold on now. I mean, we're all saying these players got to be disciplined and they got to stay home and their families got to stay home. Doesn't seem like them coaches are.
Yeah.
Don't seem like them video coordinators are.
Hey, let's be honest about this. How many guys, and you know more than I do, but how many guys do you know get back into coaching because they just need the lifestyle? They need the routine.
I think some. And you know, it's easier money than working at Home Depot.
And it's the life that they know.
Yeah, and the life they know. But let me ask you this, and you've been covering the NFL for a long time too. How many stories have you heard about the Combine up in Indianapolis?
Oh, I know, yeah. It's as much a social event as it is a scouting event.
For the coaches and the staff, it's as much a social event as it is let's find players. It's a party for coaches and staff, right?
A lot of them, yeah. That's why Vic said we don't need to bring you all. That's why I like Vic. Vic is like, you don't need to come drink on the company dime. You're
I've heard stories of dudes taking off their cowboy boots and throwing up in them on the Uber ride home.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
I'll tell you afterwards.
So, I mean, I hope the guys will be responsible, like you said, and I'm not surprised. You and I have heard, like you said, the stories of the Combine, but see, the NFL, I think, is going to ultimately get through it. But remember, they're thinking about bubble stuff for the playoffs, too, if they need to.
But the NFL will get through the season. But I just find it funny, 56 out of, between 53 plus a 20-man practice, 73 players times 32, figure out the math right there, players. And I know there's a lot of staff, but there's still, 20 staff per team times 32, so 600 staff and 41 have been infected and 3,000+ players and only 56. Who's being responsible?
No, that's a fair question.
It's
a fair question. I don't know. I hope the NBA can figure it out. Now, there was a buzz today. I don't know what's what, but they're hoping that this vaccine's going to maybe get a little bit of
Well, I mean,
traction
Trump
going.
talked about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they scoffed at him. And then all of a sudden, the day after, they said, "Oh, Biden wins. Hey, Pfizer, we do, by the way, have a vaccine. It's coming. Oh my God, what do you know?" And we'll see. But do you want to be the first ones to take that? And that'll be all the next questions, all that stuff. But whatever. But it's still something we're going to have to deal with, and sports going to have to deal with for a while.
Yeah.
Till we see.
How long do you think before we're back to normal? Seriously, because we probably, as much as we all, I thought. Look, I'm an optimist.
January 3rd.
Yeah, is that what you think?
Yeah, January 3rd. I think we're getting really close around January 3rd.
Normal?
Yeah, pretty close.
This is not a political podcast, Scotty.
But I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all.
Well, I just wonder. I don't know. I hope.
Listen,
I hope next year we at least correct, because you know what? A guy was telling me at Starbucks today that
used to be. Hey, I wish the guy would have had podcasts in like the 60s and 70s, because today down at the barbershop, so and so. Now it's like today at Starbucks.
Well, we were slow. I was like, can we get this straight? Anyway, he was telling me that he had been. They put him work from home in April. They were supposed to come back somewhere around the next 3 weeks. They decided no, stay home. Now they got told you won't be coming back till July 31st. Like they're already saying till July 31st before people come back. Do you think? Why do you?
Well, now I've had 2 glasses of wine now. So
now this wine tastes like I'm going to tell you how I really feel.
Well. That's how it works.
There's a whiskey shirt that says, "This whiskey tastes like I'm going to tell you how I really feel."
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I need that shirt. I think I got to stop drinking whiskey, because every time I've had whiskey since I have my stent in, it hurts. Hurts to pee.
Burns.
But no, it feels like kicked with a mule in the back of my kidney.
Okay, so real quick, just to put a bow on all this. This has been a meandering podcast, but hopefully you like it.
But that's kind of our show.
That's our show. We'll get back to some stuff next week. But again, what do you want?
Yeah, we'll get back to.
Tune in and Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. You'll hear all the Drew Lock you want.
Yeah, because
right
now, if you had to say yes or no, and I'm not even going to ask the question, but if right now you can't give me, well, let's wait and see. Maybe
no. I got damn with you.
Yes or no. What would your answer be?
The numbers tell you no, do they not? And I'm not a big numbers guy.
I'm not.
But there's.
Well, I'm not sure that just the numbers don't either.
No, you're right. Hey, I said this today. He's not breaking the habits that he needed to break from college, and that concerns me.
Yes.
Jeff Legwold told it best to us on Monday. He keeps retreating backwards from pressure when you need to go forward in the pocket.
Well, Ryan watched it, and there was 10 times in the first half he retreated between 10 and 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Can't do it. So
now you get a sack, or the one play he gets an intentional grounding.
Yep.
So now it becomes 2nd and 23.
Yep.
Well, that means you retreated 13 yards.
Yep. No, I'm with you. I've got my doubts, and I hope the trends turn.
Well,
I don't think it's all him.
And listen, you and I, we've rolled around in butter naked together. But other than that, you and I are Bronco fans.
Yeah, sure.
And the best thing in the world that can happen to the Broncos franchise is that he is the guy.
Yeah.
Because that saves your draft next year. It saves a lot of different directions you go into. And you're not starting over. Because if he's not the guy, guess what? Then Fangio may not be the guy, and Schumer may not be the guy, and there might be a whole bunch of other repercussions.
Let me ask you this, though, real quick on Fangio. And I guess we said we wouldn't go into it, but here we are. To me, I said this on the show today. Remember, Bill Belichick wasn't great till he really got Brady going. I think Fangio is
By the way, that was his second year. I just throw it out there, but go ahead.
Good defensive coach, okay?
Very good.
I think he's got to quit letting some guys talk him out of what his gut tells him as the head coach. Because when he tells us that he let McMahon talk him out of that field goal, and you already called a timeout and punt anyway, come on, man.
You look stupid.
Once you've called the timeout,
you
just
look
kick
stupid.
the damn field goal.
Kick
you
the
do.
field goal.
You're right.
You look stupid.
But I think, like I will tell you this, of all the unknowns between Shermer and Locke and Fangio, Fangio's given me the most evidence that I think there's something there. Because we got to remember, he may be old, but he's still new at this. He's still new at the head coach thing.
Yeah.
So
well, my buddy Alfred Williams, who I worked with, I thought was one of the most brilliant comments when he told me about head coaches in the NFL. He said the job of an NFL coach, head coach, is to coach the coaches.
Right.
And I don't know if he's gotten that yet.
That's a great point. No, not if he's letting McMahon talk. Now, Leggy did tell us that a lot of times head coaches on game day rely on their staff to talk them into what's right and wrong. But if your gut's telling you should, again, on that field goal,
and once you take a timeout, kick a field goal.
You're going for points.
Kick a field goal.
Because you didn't need who cares about the other 5 yards?
Yeah.
You know?
Or don't take a timeout, let the clock in.
Right.
And now you give your punter 5 more yards,
exactly.
which they love.
Rich Gannon couldn't figure it out, neither could I.
No,
okay, so real quickly, are you is this all this Christmas stuff helping you?
What do you mean?
Is it brightening your mood?
Well, listen, Andy, I've been in a dark place the last 3 or 4 days. I think the pain of surgery has worn me out. She says for 200 days the war is. 2? Oh, I may have spent a few dollars on a video game. Over 1,000. Couple.
On what?
Star Trek Fleet Command.
Oh, we were talked about this.
I didn't realize it though.
Well, that's how they get you.
Well, they got me because they kicked me off the server, and I tried to build another ship up, and then hey, they put me back, and I'm like, really? I just wasted some money, but I didn't know I spent that much.
Yeah, we won't say.
No, she will. Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew you wouldn't. Remember today when you said this is the last time I'll mention it? Too, yeah.
So you've been in a rough spot.
Yeah.
Christmas music doesn't do it for you?
Christmas does. And you know what? And I love my darling daughter, which is the most important thing in my life. The warden and I send her to her bed just a while ago to go get her PJs on. And she has an Alexa in her room. All of a sudden, I'm hearing Gene Autry singing, what is it?
Silver and Gold?
No. It's like
Rudolph?
Rudolph. Maybe. No, that's
Santa
Burl
Claus
Ives.
coming to town?
Yeah, Santa Claus came. It was Gene Autry singing Santa Claus is coming to town. And I'm like, that's my girl. That's my girl.
Did you ever get the JCPenney catalog and pick out the toy you wanted?
Remember what was right in the middle of that catalog, don't you?
The Braziers.
The Braziers.
And not Victoria's Secret Braziers.
No. These are
old
lady.
Yeah. There was no worry of a nip slip
No.
in that part
It
of the
was
catalog.
the old lady Braziers and the granny panties. And for a 12-year-old boy, it was heaven.
I guess that's it. We'll wrap this up. The Ramblin' Man podcast is maybe what we need to start calling this thing.
That's fine too.
The Zoo Crew redo will be back next week. I don't know. We may get into some more sports. We may not, because you know what? We're trying to not be depressed, and
we're trying to have fun, folks. We just want you to have fun. Tell people about it. Get on Spotify and all the other places.
Subscribe.
And then next week, I'll tell you about the 2-gallon jug I got.
Yeah.
That I have to collect urine in.
Are you going to get that thing pulled out? Is the tube coming out?
Hopefully by the next podcast it'll be pulled out, but I don't think so. Maybe. Let's see. Listen, just go look at retrieval of a kidney stone. What's it called?
Catheter?
No, it's not a catheter.
Shunt?
Stent. Look up the removal of a kidney stone stent on Google sometime or whatever, or YouTube. Maybe they'll show it on YouTube.
Hey, speaking of Star Trek, didn't they pull a weird worm out of his ear? Isn't that what that's going to look like?
One of them.
Huh?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
That's.
Have you watched? Do you like Star Trek?
No.
Okay.
I like Star Wars.
They got another new Star Trek series going right now.
Do they?
Discovery. It's pretty good. Yeah, I'm kind of a Star Trek freak.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Goodbye.
I used to play Madden until they put that stupid quarterback vision BS.
Well, it's off now.
Well,
I will tell you this as we continue to ramble. Arcade, you got an arcade mode on Madden this year. You should get it. It's back like it used to be. It's not all this kind. You can actually play some offense. It's not bad.
Now, and just another tip I'll tell you: go out and purchase NBA 2K.
Why? Are you on there?
No. Well, yeah, I am on there. A, I am on there. And B, they take care of all the alumni that are on there. So please, purchase as many as you can.
You know what game you were famous for? Nate and I got into
Sega.
this the other day. Sega.
I was killing on Sega.
You were Lakers versus Celtics. Get me some Hastings. Get the long, lanky dude. Sweet threes.
I played Sega. Hastings. I played Sega when I was still with the Nuggets. And I would always have to put me in as a starter for the Nuggets. And I beat Jordan for an entire season for the scoring. I averaged like 36 a game.
You had a sweet three.
Thank you.
Huh? You did. I shot it with you.
Thank you.
That's how we became fans of yours.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Here comes Hastings lumbering down. Now, the gate to your run wasn't kindy necessarily because it was like... I mean, we had to run a play so your fat ass could get down the floor to take the three. You weren't first down the floor.
I like to be the trailer. I was the trailer.
Well, that lifts you up at top of the arc.
Yeah, top of the arc. Boom.
All right, I'll talk to you next week.